Hello there, and welcome to Warbirds on Wednesday. This is Andy, the Novice Modeler. This is a What's in the Box kit review, number 312. And on Wednesdays, I pick a random Warbird out of the stash and do a review on it. And today, we've picked out this rather fantastic looking special hobby SH72480 Saab A-21R, the first Swedish made jet. And isn't that awesome looking? Now, this is the first time that I've done a kit review, and I can say I've already built this kit. Well, kind of. Because back in November of last year, as part of our You Choose My Next Build feature on the Swedish Air Force, we built the sort of younger brother, I suppose, the propeller-powered Saab J21A, which is the precursor to this particular airplane. And basically what they did is they decided, let's make a jet, and they put a jet engine in place of the propeller and raised the this part of the tail up to allow the fumes to go underneath. And I think I made a reasonably good job of this, even if I did let some glue fumes go off inside of the cockpit. And for those of you that are historically minded, I think these fuel pods here on the end of the wings are not supposed to go on the 21. They're supposed to be for this, because this does share most of the parts with it. So as per usual, we'll be having a look at the parts, the instructions, and we'll read the blurb out at the end of this fascinating historical aircraft. First off, we'll have a look at the history of this kit, and this started its life in 2011 with the SH72480, which was essentially this kit, a slightly earlier version. In the same year, SH72480 2011 also turned up, which is essentially this one with slightly different decals, I think. Then in 2012, there were some different parts added to 72246 for this aircraft. 72215 was repeated in 2022 with a new box, and this particular kit 72480 turned up in 2023 with some new decals. And this is the version that I've got. Price wise, I think this goes for around about £20–25, something like that, on eBay. So it's a little bit more expensive than your average fighter aircraft. So let's have a look at the parts for this, and this is bringing back all sorts of kind of pleasant memories, because I seem to remember this went together kind of nice on the most part. So it's kind of rare that I can say I built it and it goes together okay. Special hobbies do differ slightly from your standard sort of air fixes and Tamiya's, etc., in that they don't really have very many mounting points on wings and fuselages, and you just have to find the join basically. But I managed to do reasonably well for a novice, I think, getting this one together. So all is not lost basically. Just have a go. So looking at the parts, we've got the upper surfaces of the wings here, and as we can see, it's all looking present and correct. We've got nice indented panel lines. We've got a whole bunch of access points for fuel and whatnot. Let's get a bit closer so you can have a look at it and turn the extra light on. There we go. So that's all looking quite nice. We've got one of the booms here, the twin boom configuration at the rear, and here we can see the mounting point for the fin, which is higher on the jet than the propeller to let the exhaust fumes get out. We have the fuselage here, slightly different in shape to mine because obviously this is a jet variant. Whole load of panel lines. Got the intakes here. I did wonder what this was for here. There's actually two pieces to this, and it's actually like an exterior pod for 8 machine guns, it looks like, or cannon, or whatever you want to call it. That sort of hangs loosely underneath in place of these rockets on the cover art version. We have some these are going to be the side wheel undercarriage mounts. We have some parts here which are attaching this pod. We've got a repeat of our booms here, and this is supposed to go here. This is the under section of the wing. So as we can see, all looks kind of nice and sleek. These are all mounting points, obviously, for where this rocket rack or gun pod go. And that just joins with a little bit of care nicely together like so. And you just have to sort of find the match, basically. There is a little bit of detail on the interior of the fuselage also, which is always a bonus. Right, what we got on this sprue here? We've got a whole load of rockets, which I didn't get with mine. We've got a rocket rack here of some sorts. And these are all looking like attachment points for the various weapons. Also comes with a bomb. Whole load of rockets. I can't decide whether I'd go for the rockets or the gun pod. What would it do? Don't know. Okay, we've got these fuel pods here. We have the forward fuselage. Can't remember what that is. I think that's part of the. What is that? I'll have a look on the instructions for that part. That's part of the cockpit interior. This is the part of the front undercarriage. I seem to recall that actually the only problem I had with this was actually broken when I opened the kit on mine. We have the rear fin for the tail. That looks like an armoured backplate for the seat. There is our seat. Got the little doors here for the undercarriage bays. So that all looks quite nice. Do get some resin parts with this. We get some nicely detailed wheels. And a whole load of little levers and whatnot to go on the interior. These didn't make it onto my model kit. I seem to recall trying to get some of them off, breaking them, and then throwing it a whole lot away. Yeah, okay. Do get some photo etch as well. I don't think the photo etch is necessary. I didn't put any of the photo etch on mine. Obviously, it does enhance the look. But we've got a very nice cockpit display here. Also comes with a little plastic dial sheet to sort of go behind. I didn't manage to figure that out. And there's a whole load of other little bits and bobs as well, which, like I say, I'm not at that stage where I can be bothered with it as yet. We get our four pieces for a cockpit canopy. These are the two sides of the main canopy, and I seem to recall these are two choices for the front. Get a nice set of Swedish 3-crown decals. Loads of stencils, and it looks like we get two options, aircraft number 10 or aircraft number 17. Seem to remember the decals went on pretty well for this as well. As a general rule, I'm pretty much just using water as well. I haven't really got into the fancy liquids as yet. So let's have a look at these instructions. We got a sprue diagram, as we probably expect. We get PE and the parts. Further part list, and we start with assembly of the cockpit. There are harnesses provided, but they are photo etch harnesses. This is going to be the assembly of the cockpit instrument panel with the PE and the film. This is a load of levers and whatnot for our interior. There's our cockpit going together. Oh, that piece is the floor for it's like a little bay for the undercarriage to sit in. You see, we've got a load of levers there. This is a lot of photo etch and resin. Putting the two rear booms together. Mounting the rear booms. There's more odd parts that I couldn't identify. They're parts of the floor again for the undercarriage bays and the wings. There's our completed fuselage. This is assembly of the undercarriage, both the outer and the inner. There we have mounting the undercarriage with the wheels. Little doors. Yeah, I've lost two of my doors now. Oh well, never mind. And there's putting in the rack on. Oh, here we can see that weird little pod that goes underneath. So it's pod or rack with rockets. It's busy. You can put some rockets on the outer wings as well. Okay, so you can probably have some rockets in the pod. There's our under wing diagram of how all these brackets are supposed to look, and there's the pod, and there's the little fuel tanks going on as well. So here we have one version, which is aircraft number 10, plain green with grey undersides. I think I used olive green, I can't quite remember. And there's another one with white panels, and there's another one. There's no top markings there. I wouldn't do that one myself. And there's another one there. So let's read this blurb out quickly. During the World War II, Sweden tried to fasten its neutrality, among others, by strengthening its air forces. During the World War II, the Swedish Air Force introduced 2 fighters of domestic design. Except of the FFVS J-22, really interim solution machine, I'm reading it verbatim, it was Saab J-21, the first fighter aircraft of the latter company. J-21A was unique by twin fuselage boom supporting the tailplanes and by pusher DB605B engine. When became obvious that J-21A stays far behind the best fighters of both belligerent sides, Saab and Swedish Air Force officials tried to find a way to obtain a fighter aircraft that would be equivalent to both Allied and Germany's best fighters of that period. Except of the design proposals for new aircraft, there was an idea of using more powerful engine. R&R Merlin was reflected upon. Eventually, it was decided to exchange the piston for a Jet 1. There's a good idea. The presumable installation of de Havilland Goblin, Sweden purchased license for production, jet engine should have been trouble-free. During the structural works, it became clear that only 50% of the original piston engine J-21A parts could be used, since the jet engine installation meant too many changes. Despite those changes, the new J-21R was extremely similar to its older sibling. Swedish Air Force had ordered 120 new fighters. The first prototype took off on March the 3rd, 1947, followed by 3 others. 2 prototypes were lost during the trials. Before the production even begun, the order had been lowered to 60 machines, since the Swedish Air Force had ordered for its fighter units British Vampire fighters. In 1950 were the production J-21R machines assigned to the fighter wing F-10. Soon it was revealed the J-21R features some unconventional behaviours. The worst was the low fuel capacity, limited climbing ability above 6,000 metres, and low airframe critical Mach number. J-21R usually exceeded this number during short dive, and subsequent loss of control was instant. Therefore, after an year in service, the fighters were handed over to the ground attack wing F-7 and redesignated to A-21R. The low-level performance was excellent. Moreover, at A-21R gunfire stable and could carry a lot of externally mounted ordnance. Swedish Air Force used A-21AR various external pods ranging from machine gun pod, various bombs to 140mm Bofors rockets. Oh, that was verbatim, that was pretty hard. Yeah, so this is part of obviously my little collection of smaller nation air forces. I have decided to go a little bit Scandinavian this week with some of my choices for what's in box kit reviews. We'll be doing Fighters on Friday with a Airfix Gloucester Gladiator done up for the Norwegians, and for Figures on Friday we'll be doing the Finnish Tank Crew by Mini Art. I haven't got Finnish Tank yet. Never mind, tell me to do a snug, I'll go and buy that. So thanks very much for watching. Please do like and subscribe, and remember to check out some of our other fascinating videos, including 311 other What's in the Box kit reviews. Thanks for watching, and as always, be seeing you.